typically this is where I say like a little 2-second clever thing to lead into my Raw review. I'm going to take this minute to instead tell all you guys to go check out soundcloud.com/WrestleRecap, where there should in the next day or so be a movie recap that Kristen and I did for the movie Jurassic World. Entirely not wrestling related, but definitely worth a listen. I think it lasts about an hour though, so save it for your long car ride or whatever. A lot of fun. Hope to do it again soon. Check them out, and I'll be back in a bit with your Raw review. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, and this is your Raw review for June 22nd, 2015? Yeah, I think that's about where we're at. We are in a weird spot on Raw because we have had 2-week builds to pay-per-views, 2-week builds to pay-per-views. Now we have a 5-week build to a pay-per-view. So everything looks like it's come to a grinding halt now that we have some chance to put some time into the build, some time into the thing. So now I can understand why a lot of people feel like all of a sudden the show, not the slow is moving very showly, the show is moving very slowly. In the minds of some, I don't mind that whatsoever. But that being said, we already have 5, at the end of this show anyway, 5 matches for Battleground, and most of them, I know the Intercontinental title match, we'll talk about that in a second, but most of them have at least some validity to them, do they not? No Authority to start, no Cena to start, no Rollins to start. We start with the Beast, Brock Lesnar, which really means we start with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar kind of standing there. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman can't even get a word out edgewise because of the loud Suplex City chants. I can't tell you, off the top of my head, where they were tonight. I can tell you that they spoke a lot about being in Washington next week, because I think they're really trying hard to sell the place out, because a week out they still don't have tickets. But they talked about that more than where they are tonight, so I can't think of it off the top of my head. But this crowd, it wasn't a shabby crowd for sure. Suplex City chants right off the bat. Paul Heyman says he's proud to officially announce the return of his client, the soon-to-be WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar. And we talk about, what happened at Mania, what happened at the Raw after Mania, talking about Rock's suspension and how Brock got to be back. And basically it boils down to get Brock Lesnar back, all he had to do was apologize to JBL and Cole. Which, of course, leaves out the cameraman that he destroyed, but, I mean, that's a thing. When Paul Heyman said that Lesnar needed to apologize to these guys, immediately the crowd starts Daniel Bryan-style no chants, which is fine and wonderful, and illustrates that those chants are not specific to Daniel Bryan, so Bryan fans can suck it. Brock Lesnar goes out to the commentator table, shakes JBL's hand, and gives Michael Cole a noogie, because it's Michael Cole. And then you got Heyman standing sort of behind Lesnar as, Mr. Cole, I take it that means you accept Brock Lesnar's apology. And it's like, yeah, whatever, fuck off, let me do my job, type thing. And they get back in the ring, and Heyman says, we are also sorry in advance for what we are going to do to Seth Rollins at Battleground. He refers to Seth Rollins as the champion who beat the challenger at WrestleMania, which is a nice, neat little thing. They refer to him as the NXT Golden Boy, the first ever NXT champion, the guy that's always been protected. He was protected before NXT, he was protected on NXT, he was protected by the Shield, and now he's protected by the Authority. Roddy Raw. Rollins is the guy that sold his soul to the Authority for a title, but the Authority decided that sacrificing the future to Brock Lesnar is beast for business. And welcome to Suplex City, bitch. Because Heyman gets the CM Punk exception, and he gets to swear. He gets the Rock exception, he gets to swear. It's a nice, neat little thing. It was a good little promo. Very, very short, I will say, for a Heyman promo. And Brock just coming out there to stand there, just coming out there to shake hands with announcers, did look a bit awkward. But, I mean, he's almost supposed to, because he's the Beast. He's not a regular person. You know, you want to have that crazy mentality and all that sort of thing, and it's very well good, and it was a high energy way to start the show, if nothing else. Dean Ambrose versus Kane, however, was not a very high energy way to keep the show going. Elbow by Kane and a back suplex. Both men trade punches. Chops in the corner by Ambrose. Boots by Kane. Shoulder tackle and mounted punches in the corner by Ambrose. A clothesline by Ambrose. Leg drop by Kane in the ropes. It was a cool little thing. Leg drop on Kane in the ropes. Kane was trying to get back in the ring. He stuck his head through the ropes to get back in the ring, and he gets met with a leg drop for his troubles. That was a cool little spot. But he reverses that little sequence, and Ambrose ends up eating steps as we go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break to see a very, very typical sidewalk slam by Kane and a posted choke. Basically, he's got him by the chin in the face, but he's got the knee in the back. It's a nice, good little thing. Ambrose eventually gets a jawbreaker and elbows in the corner by Kane, neckbreaker by Ambrose, and the men go back, as they started, to just trading punches. A knee and a second rope drop kick by Ambrose. I have to say, and I'm not a wrestler, obviously, among many other things I am not a wrestler. It's got to be more awkward standing on the second turnbuckle because you've got the top turnbuckle ropes pressed against the back of your knees, so you're not standing up straight. So how do you get a good springboard off the second rope? Somebody can ask Bret Hart that while he's shit-talking Daniel Bryan all over the internet to anybody that will listen. Oh, and fuck yes. Kane gets tossed out of the ring. Running clothesline off the apron by Ambrose. Rebound clothesline once they get back in the ring by Ambrose. Rollins shows up on the ramp. Ambrose responds to his arrival with a suicide dive, which is nice, but also serves as a distraction. Chokeslam by Kane, and Kane gets the win. Rollins, almost desperately, standing there on the rampway looking at Kane as Kane looks very confused, sort of giving him a thumbs up. Hey, you did a good job there, buddy, pal, whatever. It's good. You kind of get the feel from that where they're going for the rest of the night. We recap Cena versus Owens 2 from Money in the Bank. Cena's victory, the attack afterwards, and the we'll call it the Sami Zayn spot on the side of the ring there. Again, we're going to see Cena later tonight. Cena is on... Not that Cena's going to have a match. They announce Cena is on the show. It's good, it's fine. Rollins is in the back, he's trying to buddy up with Kane, and Kane walks away. We recap the entire developing story with Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. From Money in the Bank to last week on Raw, where he's doing the whole I'm a little teapot thing with the picture of his daughter, and very creepy. And the spot that they did on SmackDown that cost him a match against Sheamus. They announced that we're going to see Roman Reigns versus Sheamus tonight, which I'm hesitant on, I'm not going to lie. Primetime Players versus The Ascension is up next, and they remind us, if you haven't been to WWE.com, that the New Day are going to get their title rematch at Battleground. So Primetime Players versus the New Day for the Affirmative Action Championships. Moving on, Ascension versus Primetime Players is the match we've got now. Ascension doesn't even get a ring entrance. They are the jobbers in this match. It's a thing. Titus and Connor brawl. That is the story of most of this match. Slam by Titus and a leg drop. Titus suplexes Darren onto Connor. I never understand spots like this, because if you say I'm wrestling the Ascension, if I suplex Victor onto Connor, it hurts both of them. But if I suplex my own partner onto Connor, my partner pops up, he's totally fine, and Connor's the only one that's hurt. That is one of those suspension of disbelief killers, is it not? Not saying it's not an impressive spot, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't make sense. Titus hits a backbreaker on Victor, which is... You see, by comparison to Connor, Victor's a little dude. Titus and Connor trade heavy chops for a long time. Victor stomps on Titus once Connor knocks him down and gets him with chops. Ascension double teams for a long while. A leg drop by Connor and a knee drop by Victor. It's a little, a leg lock, because my writing sucks. Connor gets him in a what looks like it's trying to eventually be a Boston Crab or a... what the fuck's the word? Boston Crab or a sharpshooter. Sorry, guys. While Victor, the smaller guy, you got to assume the less powerful guy, just drops knees on the back of his head, which is fantastic. Connor then rides a headlock. In case you need a reminder, Ascension are the heels in this match. Back suplex by Titus. Darren jabs with Victor for a while and hits a nice bridging suplex. A spinebuster by Titus, which literally looks like it could live up to its name, and the gut check by Darren Young, which I think is a really lame move, but at the same time, it would hurt a lot, so fine. Gets Primetime Players the win that you knew was going to happen because they're the champions and they already know their match for the pay-per-view. Ascension there's a rumor going around about Ascension. I'm not sure whether I should talk about it now or whether I should make it a discussion point when we preview Battleground. Why don't I get to that when we get to it? Sheamus versus Roman Reigns obviously starts with a very, very stiff collar and elbow tie-up. Roman with an uppercut and a Samoan drop. Sheamus bails. They brawl outside and Sheamus eats table. Lariat clothesline by Roman Reigns and they trade punches. That's broken up by a knee by Sheamus. Running elbow by Roman and a hangman by Sheamus. And an uppercut. And he tries for the 10 beats of the Bowerin but only gets 3 because he's a heel now, so he's never going to get to 10. It's kind of like the mounted 10 punch. Like, you only, in the corner, when they climb the turnbuckle and they get the 10 punches to the head, you only get 10 if you're a babyface. Or if you're absolutely obliterating your opponent as a heel. But just, no, man. You're never going to get 10 beats of the Bowerin on Roman Reigns as long as he's got the push that he's got right now, are you? Irish Curse backbreaker by Sheamus takes us into commercial break. Sheamus, also a heel, also feels like reminding us he's a heel, so he rides a headlock. Punches and headbutts by Roman Reigns break that up, and a corner clothesline by Roman. Roman eats the guardrail on the outside. Sheamus rides another headlock because he thinks we're dumb, and he thinks we're going to forget that he's a bad guy. He throws in another headlock just to remind us. Kind of like a mental bookmark. It's good. Hits the Irish Curse backbreaker. 3 backbreaker. I can fucking speak, I swear. Irish Curse backbreaker. 3 more times, in fact. Another hangman by Sheamus, and a cloverleaf. Cloverleaf attempt. Cloverleaf attempt. Cloverleaf attempt. Cloverleaf finally gets locked on. Gets broken eventually because Roman Reigns obviously pulls to the side. Clothesline by Sheamus. Back suplex by Roman and a boot. Followed by, what? Another back suplex and another boot. Awesome. Roman hits a clothesline on the outside. Low apron dropkick by Roman while they're both outside. Flying clothesline over the commentator desk by Roman Reigns was a decent and kind of unexpected spot. But Wyatt distracts on the Tron. He's doing a really, really creepy, almost unsettling thing. He's still singing the I'm a Little Teapot thing. I guess whoever owns the rights to He's Got the Whole World in His Hands called up WWE. There was a lawsuit. I heard David Otunga was involved. So they can't do that anymore. So now they're doing the I'm a Little Teapot thing. And it's all the little like plastic kids tea set from that now famous picture of Roman Reigns and his daughter from the Be a Dad Today campaign. And he acts, the camera's only on Wyatt, but he acts like he's talking to Roman Reigns, his daughter. You know, oh, your dad's going to be back any second now, he's busy. And he turns to the camera and he says, Roman, you're not going to leave us stranded back here, are you? Roman Reigns leaves, and I assume Sheamus wins by countout. The match doesn't matter anymore because the story is happening in the back, which is fine. Speaking of in the back, we see Rollins trying to buddy up with J&J Security, and they take Kane's lead. They also walk away. Neville versus Kofi Kingston. And I have a theory about this that I'm going to say at the end of this match. But, obviously, high-flying. They trade headlocks for a while, a mule kick, and a front face plant by Neville. Neville works on Kofi Kingston's arm with an arm lock that he eventually turns into a key lock. Mounted punches by Kofi and a mudhole stomp. Top rope clothesline by Kofi is a little botchy, but we'll go with it. Kofi works the arm of Neville in sort of an anything you can do, I can do better type of thing, and that's responded to. Obviously, you're going to fuck up my arm, I'm going to get you with a head scissor and show you that I can use my legs instead. That's a thing. They sort of have a very typical cruiserweight-esque tumble to the outside where Neville realizes, oh no, he's outnumbered 3-1. Primetime players come out to even the odds. The referee throws out the primetime players. The referee throws out Big E and Xavier Woods as well. Insiguri, Red Arrow, Neville gets the win. For the amount of times the primetime players has saved Neville's butt in these altercations with the New Day, I almost have to assume at this point that Neville's going to accompany them to ring at Battleground. I also have to say, for reasons that should be obvious, Neville's going to seem very, very out of place. Just saying. Replay of last week on Raw, Owens powerbombing Machine Gun Kelly, which is great. King Barrett versus Zack Ryder was better than it should have been. Starts off with a drop kick by Ryder. They talk about the King What's Up stuff with R-Truth. R-Truth beating King Barrett at the last pay-per-view and thinking he's the new king, and he's dubbed himself King What's Up, and he's making proclamations with his plunger, and it's all fun. He's going to absolve little Jimmy of all his crimes that he apparently committed. I don't know. But that's going on. R-Truth's not here. They just thought they'd throw that in for fun. Dropkick by Ryder and a pancake by Ryder and a 10-punch. See, if you're a babyface, you get the 10-punch. Mudhole by Barrett and a clothesline. Barrett Because my writing sucks, Barrett chokes on the ropes, swinging neckbreaker by Barrett, headlock by Barrett, faceplant by Ryder, and a clothesline second rope drop kick by Ryder. Ryder gets crotched on the top rope and gets knocked off the top rope with a bullhammer for the win for King Barrett. Definitely a squash match. Ryder still looked better than I thought he would, so take that to mean what you will about Zack Ryder. John Cena. And guys, ever since he started doing the Open Challenge, I've been saying the same thing every week. John Cena comes out and talks a lot. Basically, the sum total of it is that Kevin Owens is trash, the US title is awesome because I'm from America, and he's going to fight Owens again. This is a thing. Owens comes out, he says, I don't put value on your opinion, I don't put a value on many other people's opinions, I don't care what you think. You've said a bunch of things, you've called me a dirtbag, you've called me this, that, and the next thing. I've heard people tell me all my life that I shouldn't be here, that I'm out of shape, that I'm a slob, that I'm a dirtbag. But this shapeless, slobby dirtbag is going to take your United States Championship. I can beat you. I've proven it. You care what people think. I care about winning titles, like I did with the NXT title. I wanted it, and I took it from my friend. I want your title next. You said the US title is a symbol of excellence. I'm going to take your title and make it my... I'm going to make it my symbol of excellence. But I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna get all these fans behind you. I'm gonna play the role of the evil foreigner. Because he's from Canada. Because Canada's so far away. And the rest of his promo is in French. Guys, I live in Canada. Took French until grade 9. Don't have a fucking clue what he said. I just don't. I was gonna say, there's nothing offensive about this. Go ask Wrestling Jesus what he said. Wrestling Jesus can tell you a lot more French than I am. Cena has a really lame retort to finish off this segment. He responds to Owens in French, Chinese, and English. And then he uses sign language to say, I'm gonna kick your ass, and smacks himself in the ass, and that's wonderful, I suppose. The match is gonna be great. If Cena had done his first talking bit and Owens had countered and that had been it, and they just signed off with Owens telling him off in French, it would have been great. Cena just having to get that last little bit of one-upsmanship kind of ruined the segment, but not to say that there wasn't great stuff in it. Seth Rollins tries to buddy up with the Authority. The Authority basically, we're not buying it. You want backup because Lesnar's back. Go apologize to Kane and J&J. I'm just going to start calling him J and J and K, as you're going to see later on. The Bella Twins with Alicia Fox, Bella, I suppose, versus Naomi and Tamina. God, why is Naomi a thing? I struggled to write notes for this because I love the Bellas. You guys know this. My girl Paige wasn't there. I have no time for Alicia Fox or Naomi or Tamina, but whatever. We start off with Brie and Naomi, but very quickly Tamina comes in, slams Brie, and puts her in a neck vice, which is lovely, because maybe she's the bad guy. Samoan drop by Tamina, mudhole by Naomi, and a running clothesline. Naomi beats down Brie, a jawbreaker by Naomi. Nikki destroys Naomi off the hot tag, and that makes me a happy, happy kid. Brie dropkicks Tamina. Naomi puts the flying chocolate camel toe of death in the face of her own partner because she's useless, and because something good had to come out of all of this. Nikki Bella wins with the rack attack. All is well and fine with the world. I want those 5 minutes of my life back. Speaking of, I want these 5 minutes of my life back. Ryback versus Mark Henry with Big Show on commentary. Big Show is painfully neutral right now because he's confident that he's going to beat Ryback, so he's telling off Ryback, but he's still giving him his respect. He's making fun of the Miz, which is heely, but Miz is the heel, so making fun of the heel makes you a face. Big Show doesn't know what he is. I'm just putting that one out there. Ryback and Mark Henry, they make reference to their match at WrestleMania, which is nice, as you can imagine, with two big powerhouses. An even stiffer collar and elbows type to start. Key lock by Ryback is nice. A stomp by Mark Henry is what it is. Shoulder tackles by Ryback take us into commercial break. Come back. Mark Henry's got a nerve hold on. I mean, it's not quite a choke, and it's not quite a sleeper, but I'm still going to say because he's a bad guy. Shoulders in the corner by Ryback, a boot by Henry, but Ryback comes up back with a meat hook and no shell shock. Meat hook and a splash. Ryback gets the win. Big Show and Mark Henry argue after the match. For reasons. Ryback, I guess, is going to start doing the Jerry the King Lawler straps her down, shit just got real thing. I'm okay with that. Big Show and Ryback beat the hell out of each other in the back while Ryback's trying to have an interview segment with JoJo. JoJo, and I don't even mean this in that way. JoJo really looks like she could be an appetizer for both of these guys because she's small as it is. Dolph Ziggler. Okay, here we go. I know you're gonna hear what I say next, and it's probably like, oh, it should be a squash match. Why should I care about this? Whatever. Dolph Ziggler versus Adam Rose in a really decent match, actually. Adam Rose is out there still rocking the Hollywood Adam Rose Hulk Hogan wannabe tights, but he's out there with Rosa, and he has a little bit of an awkward promo talking about how all the mouth breathers in the crowd don't appreciate art, they don't appreciate passion, they don't appreciate love, and him and Rosa know what love is, and, you know, she says I love us, he says I love us, they make out super awkwardly, and then they accuse Ziggler and Lana of being jealous because they could never possibly have a love like they have. It's very generic. It's a little too punny. It's a little too on the nose that Adam Rose's new girl is Rosa. I love Adam Rose as a talent. I hate him as a character, but at least he's gotten rid of the Exotic Express, and he's really a lot more aggressive than you expect in this match, but Dolph Ziggler is Dolph Ziggler, so that's also a thing. We start the match with Rose and Rosa making out. Dropkick by Dolph, pillar to post in a mud hole by Rose. A slam and a Dolph Ziggler-style shower of elbows by Rose is nice. A sleeper by Rose, and at this point the commentators are saying, look, Rose is taking away all of Dolph Ziggler's signature offense. I'd like that. Good touch by Rose. Excellent backup from the commentary, which is few and far between, but whatever. Sleeper by Rose, back suplex by Ziggler, a stinger splash and a stinger splash slash neck breaker by Ziggler. That's easy for some people to say, but apparently not me. Corner clothesline and a spine buster by Rose, which is really nice. Top rope, nothing, gets countered into a super kick by Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler gets the win. And then we have another little thing. It's becoming almost a weekly thing where Ziggler and Lana make out after the match. We go to Rusev in the back, who freaks out and throws his crutches all over the place, whatever. This time he freaked out, threw his crutches, threw a temper tantrum, and fell on his ass. Which would be funny, and I would laugh at him, except for the person that held him up and had a couple of kind words for him was none other than Summer Rae. So we're saying that this goofball that just fell on his ass on national television and got his ass handed to him by Cena a couple of months in a row went from Lana to Summer Rae. I could have partial residence in Bulgaria. That could be a thing. The Bulgarian Spaz. The Russian Super Spaz. I'm just tossing it out there. Closing segment of Raw I thought would be bullshit, but it was actually kind of cool. Seth Rollins comes out with his bullshit apology for JJ and K. He's begging, he's pleading, they're all kind of laughing at him. Lesnar comes out. Lesnar comes out to stare down Rollins. JJ and K bail, but then Kane comes back with a cheap shot from behind on Lesnar as he's trying to get into the ring. JJ and K get owned on the rampway. Rollins tries to jump Lesnar and eats suplexes. And we figure we're going to get a lot of them. You can even hear the crowd chanting, 1 suplex, 2 suplexes. And to be fair, Ziggler typically gets the credit for being the ragdoll for other big guys, especially power guys. I mean, Ziggler versus Lesnar is a dream match, is it not? Only for that reason. But, I mean, Rollins, I mean, he kind of has to, but he ragdolled like crazy. For Lesnar, if this is an example of what the match is going to be like at Battleground, I'm looking even more forward to it. But Kane comes back in the ring, chokes Lesnar to save Rollins from the F5, and then turns it into a choke slam. And then, you know, Lesnar says fuck all to a choke slam, gets up and suplexes Kane. But Kane and Rollins start getting on the same page. They take him out at the knee. They wrap his leg around the ring post and go at it with a chair, you know. And the commentary is really on point at this point. You know, they probably shattered his kneecap. Lesnar hobbling along on one leg. I really thought he was going to do what he did to Angle years and years and years ago and hit that, like, hopping on one leg F5. That would have been fucking killer, but it didn't happen because eventually J&J Security get up too, and they have a 4-on-1 beatdown. And then Kane and one of J&J Security hold Lesnar in place so Rollins can do that flying knee that he does. And, he's got him staggered and sort of stumbling around or whatever. Chokeslam by Kane, pedigree by Rollins. The Authority is back on the same page, at least for now, and they taught us how to slay the beast, so you could say, per se. Not a bad way to end Raw. I mean, does it go right back to Rollins being the cowardly heel, which we were just building our way out of? I guess. But, I mean, if this is JJ and K luring him into a false insecurity before they fuck him over again, this could be a cool story going forward. Ultimately, I really do want to see Rollins versus Lesnar with no outside elements. I don't think it's going to happen. I really, with all they've given Lesnar, there's no way they're going to have anybody even look like they're close. This is the guy that destroyed John Cena. This is the guy that beat The Streak. This is the guy that beat Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. This is the giant that pulled off the shooting star press. I mean, it missed, but whatever. My hope, my dream, my make-a-wish is, that was in really poor taste, I'm sorry. But my wish is that this match happens, even if it means that Rollins gets destroyed. I would rather see that than have Rollins win a 5-on-1 fight, because that doesn't do his character any good. It's just like I say, his, squeaker victory over Ambrose at the last pay-per-view, because there was no backup, and that whole story of all of his backup falling away and him still proving himself, and him having that Triple H element of cheating all over the place but still getting the job done when he has to, is really in a good place. I hope they don't fuck it up. But as I say, we got a long ways to go before we get to Battleground, but we've already got 5 matches. Primetime Players versus The New Day for the tag titles. Big Show versus Miz versus Ryback for the IC title is... I'm still kind of curious, not going to lie. Roman versus Wyatt, Owens versus Cena 3, and Rollins versus Lesnar. And we've still got several weeks to go. Battleground is shaping up to be a pretty damn good show. I'm still enjoying shit. I'm really sorry I wasn't up here, guys, last week with a Raw review, but I have no excuse other than I was dead fucking tired. And that's just the simple truth of it. You guys got about 7 more days. It's a week from this Wednesday that I'm going to be doing the next Q&A. Fan interaction. Unless things really step up on fan interaction, after I finish off this one, fan interaction may go on hiatus for a while. Because it's a time-consuming thing, and it's one more video to do in the week when really I should only be doing 2 videos a week. And it started off strong, but it's not getting the reaction that I had hoped for. Like the Q&A, like Ask the Phoenix is. Ask the Phoenix always gets a fantastic response from you guys, and I think a lot more of you guys are paying attention to my Raw reviews and the Fights on Wednesday Night series. I know they don't get a lot of views, but one of my favorite things to do here is the preview panels that I do with Kristen and Guapo and Suave and OK Fabe and Heel Steven and whoever the hell else wants to join in. Selfishly, those are for me, because those are just really fun to do. But Ask the Phoenix, the Fights on Wednesday Night, the Raw reviews, those are the things that are always going to stay. As I say, the fan interaction, Friday night videos may be going on hiatus for a little bit. But that's it. I'm not down in the dumps about it. It's sort of a trial and error. It's sort of it is what it is. I was doing them every 2 weeks and I wasn't getting a reaction, so I thought doing them once a month. Still really not getting the reaction I wanted, especially this month for some reason. But it's not a slight on you guys. I mean, obviously you guys are telling me what you guys want to see, and that's great. And I wouldn't want to stop doing that. I wouldn't want to sit up here and guilt trip you guys into watching videos you don't want to watch, because that's not what we're doing here. Means something else might come along somewhere else down the line. Other topical videos, whatever. The Cruiserweight video I did last week happens once a year. I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions on that. Go back and check it out if you haven't. I have rambled for quite long enough. It's been almost a half hour, and you wouldn't guess, guys. I could turn my clock, but the readout is really long because ridiculous a clock takes up a lot of digits. So you'll have to take my word on it. I'm tired as fuck. I'm going to bed. Raw was great. Battleground looks like it's going to be fantastic. You guys are fantastic. So what I will say is I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep this conversation going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I am tagging out. And Guapo, buddy, that's how you do it. Bye, guys.
freak.